everybody, and welcome to another episode of StoneTalk. As always, I'm your host, Jason Osgood. I'm the Senior Director of Distribution for StoneHardscapes. If you're new here, thank you for joining us today. If you've been to some of the previous episodes, welcome back. This is a monthly webinar series based focusing on multiple aspects within the natural stone industry. If you've missed some previous episodes, these are the first four that we've done. First one was best practices for natural stone installation on the basic techniques. The second one was advanced techniques and procedures for the basic practices of natural stone installation. The third episode, we focused on coping installation. And then last month, we talked about the Natural Stone Institute, or Natural Stone Governance, and the Global Stone Institute. And as always, if you've missed any of them and you want to go back, you can certainly go to our YouTube site, pull up any of the past webinars of myself or of our Hardscapes Designer series with our Senior Director of Architectural Design, Linda Abbott. We've also got on there multiple videos of different aspects of installation and cleaning and maintenance, as well as certain types of products. So I encourage you to go to our YouTube site and see what we have to offer for you. So natural stone. Natural stone adds an incredible aesthetic value to any swimming pool environment. Whether it's a marble product or it's a travertine or it's a granite product, the aesthetic value is unmatched. Keep in mind that the deck itself is the largest element within your backyard environment. Your swimming pools are great, but the average deck's somewhere around 1,000 square feet. So it adds the largest aesthetic value to your swimming pool. Natural stone is beautiful, and nothing can take away from natural stone except for a lack of care. Like anything of value, anything that we own, anything that we have in this world today, if you don't take care of it, it will degrade over time. It will wear, it will get dirty. Natural stone is no different. As you can see, these pictures here are a lack of care on some beautiful natural stone, and over time they get dirty and they wear. So with this webinar, let's talk about care and maintenance. It's important when you're talking about care and you're working on the maintenance of your stone to understand the stone that you have. The first step of stone care and maintenance is to understand the geological classifications and the composition of the stone itself. Now, natural stone is categorized into three basic classifications by their respective formation processes: sedimentary, metamorphic, or igneous. Additionally, stone is categorized within those three classifications as calcareous or silicous. Now, calcareous stone is composed mainly of calcium carbonate, a chemical compound commonly found in natural stones, shells, or pearls. It is acidic or sensitive to acidic solutions, so a mild, non-acidic cleaner are recommended. Typical types of stones that are calcareous are travertine, limestones, marbles, and onyxes. Now, silicate stones are comprised primarily of silicates such as quartz, feldspar, or mica. As such, silicious stone is generally denser and more resistant to acidic products. However, acidic cleaners are still not recommended, as some of these stones may contain trace levels of minerals that are acid sensitive, such as lignite. Lignite sometimes naturally occurs in some of these stones, and when it's introduced to an acidic product, lignite looks like rust and can blossom within that stone itself. The typical silicious stones: sandstones, slates, quartzite, soapstones, and granites. Now, some easy care tips. Remove the spills immediately. Blot the spill with a paper towel or a cloth towel. Flush the area with water and mild soap, and repeat the process until the spill is no longer visible. The longer the spill sits, the deeper it will penetrate into the stone and the harder it will be to remove the stain. Do not let sand, dirt, or silica accumulate, as there are abrasives and can damage the stone when they're left to be walked on. If the stone is a new install and it's around heavy construction and sand blows on it, the longer you walk on that sand, the more it will degrade and etch into that stone itself. So remove the sand and the dirt and the silicate as soon as possible. If you have furniture on your deck, always use felt pads under the furniture whenever possible to eliminate scratches. And never drag the furniture across the natural stone. It will scratch it over time. Prevent irrigation and fertilizer from spraying on the stone. Some irrigation use reclaimed water or well water, which can easily stain natural stone. And if you allow fertilizer to sit on the stone, over time, the fertilizer will stain the stone and become very hard to remove. And be mindful of the type of landscaping around the deck area itself. Some trees and plants have high levels of acidity in their leaves, as well as tannins that can stain the stone if it's left on there too long. Cleaning the stone. When you clean the stone surface, use a neutral cleaner, a material-specific soap, or a mild dishwashing soap in warm water. Similar to any items in your home, an excessive concentration of cleaner or soap could leave a film and cause streaking. Flush the area with plenty of water and always follow the manufacturer and the supplier's recommendations. Always use a clean, soft cloth or a soft rag mop for best results. Never use a dirty rag when cleaning stone. If you're using water, change that water frequently. Don't continue to use dirty water. In an outdoor pool, patio, or hot tub area, a mild solution of bleach and water can be used to remove algae and moss. And never use an acidic base cleaner. And because a lot of this product is sold within the swimming pool industry, never ever pour 100% muriatic acid on the stone. It will etch the stone. Now, cleaning products. Many suppliers offer stone-specific products for cleaning and maintenance. Make sure that if you're going to find a product that is specific to natural stone, there are hundreds of cleaners and protectants out there for natural stone, as well as cementitious brick. Make sure that you get one for natural stone. A cleaner for cementitious brick is much different than a cleaner for a natural stone. Products containing lemon, vinegar, or other acidic products may dull and etch surface of calcareous stones, such as travertine. Scouring powders and creams contain high levels of abrasives, and they will scratch certain softer stones. It's never recommended to use these types of products. Never use a scouring pad to remove stains. Certain types of scouring pads contain abrasive materials that can also scratch the stone surface. And many commercially available rust removers contain trace levels of hydrofluoric acid. This acid attacks silicates in addition to other minerals. All stones, including granite and quartz, can become etched if it's exposed too long to hydrofluoric acid. And this is highly, highly important. Never, ever mix ammonia and bleach. This combination creates a very toxic and very lethal gas. I will say this again, never, ever mix ammonia and bleach. Now, the most important key is to identify the kind of stain that you have. Identifying the type of stain on the stone surface is key and an important step to removing it. Some of the most common stains are oil-based, organic, metallic, biological-based stain, ink, paint, or acid-based. Now, some questions to consider when identifying the stain. Where's the stone located? Is it near landscaping or an outdoor grill? Is it in a high traffic area? Where the stone is located, where the stain is located can eliminate or it can point you towards the type of stain that it is. What color is the stain? Same as where the stain is located. Sometimes the color will tell you what type of stain it is or it isn't. Does it have a distinct shape or pattern to it? And what's occurring in the surrounding area? Is it a wet area? If the stains are occurring around a wet area, then more than likely you've got mold or mildew or algae stains on the deck, and you've got to correct that problem first. So let's talk about the different types of stains. Oil-based. Oil-based stains are typically grease or cooking oil, cosmetic. Big one is suntan lotions. An oil-based stain will darken the stone and normally must be chemically dissolved so the source of the stain can be flushed away or rinsed away. You want to clean these stains gently with a liquid cleaner. You can use one of the following products: household detergent, mineral spirits, or acetone. Something that has a degreaser to it. A very light household detergent with a degreaser to it in warm water will help eliminate some of these oil-based stains. Organic stains: coffee, tea, wine, tobacco, pet urine, leaves, or bark. Organic stains are usually pinkish and brown in color and may disappear after the source of the stain is removed. So if you've got a stain because there's leaves sitting on the deck and it rains and the tannins from the leaves stain that deck, if you remove the leaves over time, generally the rain and the sun will bleach those stains out. If it's outdoors, like I said, with the sources removed, the rain and sun will generally bleach it out. If it's an indoor product, and you can clean it with a mixture of 12% hydrogen peroxide and water, that will help speed the process up. Metal stains: rust, iron, copper, or bronze. Iron or rust stains are typically orange to brown in color, and they will almost always follow the shape of the staining object, such as nails or bolts or screws. Copper stains and bronze stains appear as green or muddy brown and result from the action of moisture on a nearby or embedded bronze or copper item. Now, metal stains must be removed using a poultice, which is a liquid cleaner mixed with an absorbent, such as diatomaceous earth, and left over the stain for a period of time. You spread that over like a paste in the consistency of a peanut butter, and it will absorb that stain over time. Metal stains, if not treated right away, are incredibly difficult to remove. The stone itself may be permanently stained. If you have metal stains, please consult with a professional, whether it's your supplier or it's your installer, and have them come out and address the situation with you. Biological stains. These are the most common stains on a pool deck. Algae, mildew, lichens, moss, fungi. You can clean these stains off with a diluted cleaning solution, typically half a cup of the following products: ammonia or bleach or hydrogen peroxide in a gallon of water. You notice I didn't say and, or. You can't mix those ingredients together. Reminder, never ever mix ammonia and bleach. So you can clean these biological stains on your deck with a mixture of a half a cup of water or half a cup of ammonia or bleach or hydrogen peroxide in a gallon of water. Ink stains: somebody drops a marker or a pen on the deck. On lighter colored stones, bleach or hydrogen peroxide and water will help. On darker color stains, you can use an acetone to remove it. Anytime you put a chemical on a natural stone, be very mindful to test it on a stone somewhere in an inconspicuous spot on the deck itself. That way you kind of have an idea of how much you need to add to it. Paint: small amounts of paint can be removed with a lacquer remover or scraped off carefully with a razor blade. Heavy paint coverage should be removed only with commercial heavy liquid paint strippers available at your local hardware store. Now, these strippers normally contain a caustic acid or lye. Do not use these strippers with acid or any sort of flame tools to strip the paint from the stone. Paint strippers in heavy doses can etch the surface, so repolishing may be necessary. Now, with anything, specifically with paint, if you're going to use strippers, take care to flush the area thoroughly once the paint is removed, and always use personal protection gear when using these types of products. Water spots typically occur from the surface accumulation of hard water. Step one of this, identify the source of the water itself. Is your deck not draining properly? Is your yard pitched toward your house, toward your deck itself, and it's causing the rainwater to roll down onto the deck? Find the source of the water, because no matter what happens, if you don't find the source, you're going to continue to work on trying to clean it. Now, you can buff with a dry quad zero steel wool. Over time, the sun will bleach or leach the water out of the deck. But it's very important to identify the source of the water first. Scratches and nicks. Slight scratches can be buffed out, again, using a quad zero steel wool. Deeper scratches and nicks might have to be repaired or repolished by a professional. And etch marks. Etch marks are typically left on the surface by acid. Some materials will etch the finish, but not leave a stain. Some materials will do both. If you have etch marks or etching and staining on your decks caused by acid left on there, contact your stone dealer or contact your installer, because more than likely you're going to have the stone itself refinished or repolished. Now, efflorescence. Efflorescence is a big one, and it's a big cause of staining on natural stone. Efflorescence is a white powder that may appear on the surface of the stone. It's caused by the accumulation of mineral salts that are left behind by the evaporation of water. If it's a new install and the efflorescence has just appeared, you can remove it typically with a rag or a dust mop or a vacuum as soon as it appears. You may need to do this several times as the stone itself dries out. If the stone was wet for a long period of time before it was installed, as that moisture leaches out of the stone itself, you're going to get efflorescence to form. It's just a natural occurrence. Over a period of time, that'll go away. There are chemicals specific to removal of efflorescence, but you need to consult with your installer and your professional, and again, test before using it. If efflorescence persists, you keep cleaning it and it keeps coming back, contact your installer to identify and rectify the cause of the moisture itself. Because if you keep removing it and it keeps coming back, there's a reason it comes back. There's moisture that is in the stone, there's moisture that is being introduced to the stone, and as it leaches out, it leaves behind the efflorescence. So if you don't identify and rectify the cause, you're going to continue to battle efflorescence. And if efflorescence is left over time to accumulate, it can be incredibly difficult to remove, and it will reappear over time. The absolute best practice with efflorescence is to address it as soon as it appears. Whether it's a new install or it's an old install, address efflorescence as soon as it appears. Now, inevitably, the one question that we always get when it comes to natural stones and staining of natural stones, can sealers help? And the answer is yes. Sealers will drastically reduce the speed to which you have to clean up spills. However, keep this in mind. If you're going to seal your deck, if you're going to introduce sealers to your deck, absolutely make sure that the sealer you get is an impregnating sealer and specific to natural stone. We talked earlier about cleaners. Sealers are the exact same. Sealers that are specific to cementatious brick are not effective on natural stone decks. So make sure if you get a sealer, it is specific to natural stone and it is an impregnating sealer. If you go to a local hardware store and you buy a topical sealer, it will cure and haze up before it absorbs into the deck, and now you've just created an incredibly unsightly issue. Now, there's pros and cons to both sealing and leaving your deck unsealed. The pros: adds a layer of protection to the stone. It will enhance the color and the look of the stone itself. And if you have the thought or the perception that the stone is a little slick, then you can add silica to the sealer and add a layer of grip to the sealer. Now, the cons are they do not provide complete protection. Once you seal a product, you are married to sealing it for the life of the ownership of that stone. And there's no specific telling that it's going to be every year, every couple of years. It depends on the environment it's in, the weather, the usage. It depends on multiple factors as to when you have to reseal the deck. And specific material for the sealer for the product can be expensive. A takeaway of all of this is care and maintenance should be proactive and not reactive. If you routinely care for your natural stone, you can stay ahead of any of these stains. Natural stone is a natural product. It's been in this earth for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It is naturally resistant to staining. If you stay on top of it, your deck, the aesthetic value that the natural stone has added to your deck, will be there for years. Speed is the key. Clean up spills immediately. Don't let them sit and penetrate. The longer a spill sits, the deeper it penetrates, the harder it's going to be to remove. And be mindful of the surroundings. Be mindful of your sprinkler positioning. Be mindful of fertilizer. Be mindful of the landscape. Those can cause two issues. But in all of this, just be proactive. Just routinely clean your deck. Hose it down, blow it off with a blower, sweep it. Just be proactive. And with that, this is this month's webinar. I thank you all for joining. If you have any questions or you want to dig deeper into this, by all means, please contact me. Again, my name is Jason Osgood. You can contact me at StoneHardscapes at my email address at josgood@stonehardscapes.com. And with that, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day.